Well, okay, I've got 12:00 on my clock here, so we're going to get going. I hope you're having a great day today. I hope you've had an awesome week. Of course, we started out with your who on Monday, so hopefully you got your who figured out. And then we came follow that up with your passion on Tuesday. So hopefully that's a tough one. You've had a little bit more time to get that one going. So hopefully that one's good to go. Because yesterday we did life purpose, and so we kind of added in both Monday and Tuesday for your life purpose. And today we're going to combine all that hard work from the first 3 days, and we're going to discuss how to create a mission statement first, and then we're going to hop over into how to set SMART goals to get you rolling over your next 12 months here or so. So here we go. Without any further ado, create a mission statement for your life. And of course, I'm Don Hastings at A2B4Me.com. All right. Well, we've already kind of gone through, what's your purpose. Hopefully, that's a done deal. But if you're like most people, you really had no idea how to answer that question early on because you never considered it, and obviously, that's unfortunate because we want everybody to consider that. But companies, about every company out there you see has a mission statement. I know folks are like, well, what do I need a personal mission statement for? Well, we're going to talk about that, and because you want to consider creating one for your own life as well, because you'll find that's going to combine your core values and a lot of different things that will keep you on track and keep you rolling towards your destiny. But how can you make the best plans and decisions for yourself if you lack a mission statement? Because it's a big crucial part of it. I mean, we've got all kinds of pieces to this puzzle we call success, and affirmations and vision boards, and like I said, I have action boards and everything else. So we want to look at this, but another big part of it is a mission statement. So we want to consider this as well. All right, well, let's talk about writing a mission statement because it has really three primary benefits for you. One, it forces you to consider what your purpose in life is. So all the work that we did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is kind of boiling down to a mission statement because it's forcing us to consider what that is. And also gives your life direction and something you can use to measure yourself by. So when you're looking at that and you're saying, oh my goodness gracious, who am I? What am I? What was that again? Well, now you've got a concise mission statement that you can read and say, okay, yeah, that's still me. And this is really helpful when we go, towards end of year and then go into next year. Then you can review that and say, okay, am I still the same person? Do I still have the same goals? Do I still want the same things? And because there's no reason not to create a mission statement for your life. There just really isn't, because it's just going to be your guiding light to get you out there. You see this ship in the background. It had to have a plan. It had to have a way to get there, looking for a lighthouse or whatever. And this bird sitting there looking at him like, are you on course, dude? Well, we want to make sure you're on course. So we want to make sure we get this thing rolling for you. All right, well, let's create a mission statement and give your life purpose, direction, and purpose and direction with these strategies. So here we go. Number one is determine the person you want to be. Now, hopefully, we had some fun with that yesterday and Tuesday. But imagine the person that you would be prouder being. It's, well, I'm me, but now I'm gonna puff my chest out a little bit, and who am I really? Well, what characteristics does that person possess? So that the newer, better version of you, what characteristics does that person possess? So let's go back and kind of highlight through. Get your highlighters out again. You know me, I don't dream in black and white. I dream in Sharpie highlighter colors. So you want to go back and pick out those things that you highlighted and give yourself the benefit of the doubt and assume that you can become anything you desire. So when you looked at those characteristics and those things from yesterday, well, just consider the fact that you can be anything that you want. So who would you want to be? So that's the first thing I want to do when we're getting out here and trying to put together a mission statement is not just who I am, but who would you want to be? And what qualities do you want to stand for? Now, this might be an enhanced core value set. In other words, things uh, that are advanced to what your current core values are. So, what qualities do you want to stand for? What do you want that character to be? So, when we go up this thoughts, action, habit strategy that we have at A2B4Me, what habits are we going to need to change, instill, or get rid of so that character has the qualities that you want to stand for. And one thing you might want to look at is consider your heroes. When heroes, kind of gets a kind of a bad vibe sometimes with folks because so many people are called heroes that really may not be heroes, but role models, people in your life that you do really look to. But whom do you look up to? And think about why you look up to them. Now, if you really look up to a guy that scores 42 points a game or something, well, is that really your hero? I mean, so maybe look a little bit deeper than the guy that scores a bunch of baskets or something. But whom do you look up to? And it's really important that why question is really it. Now, the guy that scores 42 points might be an awesome human being. He might be a super leader in his community, be a loving family, have a loving family, be a great father, a great mother, whatever it is. And this might be this perfect person. Well, then that why is good. So, but it's not just about he scored 42 points. It's all the other things that he's done in his life, have a well-rounded life. But the people you most admire can leave clues about what is most important and impressive to you, because that's why I want to look at them, because it's just like success. Success leaves clues. But whose life would you like to live? And really think about that. We're not saying that you want to go out there and just do everything that they did and you want all their stuff, but who has led an example that you would like to follow? In other words, whose life you said, man, I'd like to have a life like that guy, that gal. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You don't know what they had to do to get there, and you don't know what they have to do to continue to stay there. But just for posing the initial question, whose life would you like to live? Then it can become someone from the past. So, and sometimes that might be a little bit easier until you dig into their past and find out who they really were, maybe. But it can be even someone from the past that was out there. And so, I'd really like to have a life like that. He or she lived a very good life, and I know they did these things and helped the community and did this and loved their kids and loved their family and everything else. But whom did you admire when you were a child? I mean, it might be a relative or a neighbor. So you might just think back and say, okay, well, what qualities? Now, the thing important here, it really doesn't matter if they had those qualities or not. You thought they had those. So who did you admire when you were a child? And what were those qualities? So consider the heroes and the people that have been important in your life, and who would you like to mirror in yours? Okay, and then look online for new examples that can inspire you. In other words, there's all kinds of CEOs, other famous people that have posted their mission statements for the world to see. So check out a few and see if any of those appeal to you. Again, uh, in this in this industry and in personal development in general, we steal everybody else's stuff, so that don't make any difference. So we're all in here. We're a community, and we want you to succeed. And I know I did a little session this morning, one of my devotionals, and it was in James. But I tell you, I told everybody all the time that all the positive mental attitude books out here, all the success books, all the how-to books, all this kind of stuff about success, there's not an original dadgum idea in there that wasn't in the Bible. I mean, everything come out of Proverbs, or like I said today, a ton of it out of James, Paul. On his missions, and he had a ton of stuff in there that people emulate today. And that's really, we get a lot of our stuff from Paul here at A to B for me. So don't worry about taking somebody else's stuff and revising it, because it's out there for you. So if it'll help you, use it. I mean, I'm not talking about going out there and completely plagiarize somebody's documents and claim they're yours, but you can certainly take again, go out there and look for those clues and get some ideas, and copy some words, and do those types of things. And because I guarantee you, the things that you want probably aren't all that original. Some of it may be, but not all of it. So you want to make sure that you get out there, because other people have all been on the same road and the same journey, and they've developed these mission statements based on what they want. So it's probably some of it might be in line with what you want. And then imagine looking back on your life. This is always fun. But picture yourself on your deathbed. So let's get morbid for just a little bit. But what would you like to see when you look back on your life? In other words, you don't want to sit there and say, "Damn, I didn't do that." I mean, that's what we got all the bucket list and all this other stuff about, and that's what we talked about eulogy a little bit yesterday, and what folks going to say. But the word for me is legacy. So what legacy do you want to leave behind? That's the positive. Is what's that legacy? What do you want to be remembered by? Having regret at this stage in your life would just be a tragic thing. You're sitting on your deathbed and you're going, "Dad, come, I just didn't do the things I wanted to. I didn't say the things. I didn't teach the things. I didn't love the people that I wanted to the way I wanted to." And you can prevent that by considering this circumstance today. And that's what we're talking about in the mission statement. It's really your legacy. The first day we talked about in your who was going way out to the end, and then let's working this thing back. And that's what we want to do here, is because we want to prevent you from being in that circumstance and having that regret at that deathbed stage. So write your mission statement. You have enough information now to write your mission statement. You've worked on, you've done all this research, and you're 1 through 4 stages here. Monday through Friday, we did a lot of work. That's why we build these things. They all build on each other. It makes some sense. Everybody's like, "Well, I don't know why it was only 20 minutes on the first day, and then it was 20." Well, we have to build on things. So we don't want to work you to death every day, but we know that you will get there through the week if we keep this thing rolling for you. So you have enough information, but try limiting yourself to a single paragraph, and hone in on the essential elements. So don't sit here, and we don't want a war and peace document here. I mean, come on, you don't want to be having to read that every day, because you're going to have this in your journal and things, and what you read every day. So you want something concise, and describe the mission for your life. Not every twist and turn, and not hour by hour and minute by minute, but just a single paragraph to hone in on the essential elements, because there's no reason to feel tied down to anything you write right now, because as we've said all week, these things change. Everything changes, and so you have to be flexible. Your life changes as you grow. You're going to look back and say, "I can't even believe I was even worried about having that in my mission statement, because that's a piece of cake now." I didn't worry about it even having that in my goal set, because I don't even need that. That's not even a goal now. That's just an automatic. So your life is going to change. But the main thing you need to understand is you're in control. You can always make adjustments in the future. And this is an instance we talked about yesterday where good wasn't good enough, but today good is good enough. I mean, perfectionism is just going to kill you on this one. So let's just work on it, and let's just make it good is good enough, and let's start describing the mission for your life in a single paragraph. Again, just honing in on the essential elements. Now we want to set appropriate goals, and we're going to go over that here in just a little bit deeper. But now that you have this general direction for your life, you want to set some goals that support your mission statement. So again, your core values, your mission statement, your goals, they all have to go together, because if you don't, you're going to have this internal mess in your brain, and this fight back and forth between subconscious and conscious, and we don't need that struggle. So don't present struggles to yourself. Let's make it all very clear, where it says, "Okay, this is my mission. So this goal, yeah, this goal goes with this mission, and this mission, this goal, it is supported by my core values. So everything is in line. We're just the world is just all in line, and where everything's going well. So what can you do today to begin living the life that you desire?" That's the whole purpose of where we're headed here. So what kind of goals would the person you described in the first step pursue? So that perfect person that you want to be, that best version of you, what kind of goals would that person pursue? Because I mean, we're growing you this week, so you're not the same goal person you were last week. So let's look at this, and what would that person pursue? And number 7, you got to get busy. Get the pail and the sand and the shovel out, and let's build that castle. And this is really can be the challenging part, because many of us like imagining and planning, and oh, well, this is going to be great, but then we balk when it comes time to actually do something. So again, we always talk about the vision boards and how wonderful it is to look at those things and how fun that is. But if you don't have an action board, just throw away the damn vision board because you're never going to get there. You're just going to frustrate yourself. So you got to have action. Thoughts, action. You got to get it going. So avoid allowing this step to halt your progress. Just do it. I mean, that's all I can tell you is just get out there. You just got to do it. Now, you want to reevaluate again. You want to take stock regularly. So, and again, regularly for some people, for me, it's every 12 weeks. And we'll talk about that again, really in depth in the goal session and tomorrow. But reevaluate is so important because you've always got to be in the reflection phase. You know, you got to be reflect, and then you have to plan, and then you have to execute every single day, every single week, every quarter, every year. So you got to take stock regularly. Don't put this thing in stone, okay? Because we're going to be changing it. Do you need to modify your mission statement or your goals? Well, you, it's not a do really. You're going to have to do that. So, I mean, because your life's going to change. But what can you do to make them better? And that's always what you want to look at, and that's what I look at every day in my journal. A couple of sections in the bottom of it every day are what's a victory that I'm proud of, and the second thing is how will I improve, and that's what you want to look at every single day. What'd you do? And great, and man, you're awesome, Superman. But what was your kryptonite? What did you balk at yesterday? So how can you improve? And your mission in life may be maybe a moving target as you age and mature. It said when hopefully with age you get wiser. you've you've continually for all these years failed forward, and the key there is forward. I mean, failing is nothing to fear. I think failing for me is awesome because it teaches me a new way to do things, the way I should have done it, right? And it gets rid of all the ways that I shouldn't have done it. So if you fail enough, you're going to succeed by simply the fact that you've taken out all the things that don't work. So fail forward every single day. I think it's awesome. Your experiences will also change your perspective on life. So as you go through, uh, and you got what you think your mission statement is, you got your goals, the whole 9 yards, but your experiences may alter that and say, well, I thought that's what I wanted, and but instead of sitting there like that, put it in stone. And now you're out here and you're committed to something that's in stone, and now you're like, well, you can't change it, but you don't want to do it. Well, that's a heck of a way to be. So your experience is going to also change your perspective on life. So be ready for that. Now, a mission statement forces you to evaluate your interests, your values, and your priorities. So, why did we go over core values earlier in the week? Why did we go over interests earlier in the week? Why did we go over priorities? Because it's all part of the mission statement. But you also, like I said, want to consider your death and your legacy. And if you want the best possible chance of living an amazing life, I'm telling you, a mission statement is crucial because it's going to keep you rolling and keep things in order. And again, that's just going to be your compass through life and help keep you steady on this journey that we call destiny. So let's work on this section. I got about 13 slides. You go back through, look through these slides, be sure you got it all down. Go back, grab all your paperwork and stuff, all your worksheets from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and let's get this mission statement done for you. Now we're going to hop over. Let's see. What's your mission? Just take time to complete this important exercise. Obviously, I guess I was reading ahead on the next slide for you, and you're bound to learn things about yourself you never knew, and you're going to re-energize your passion for living, and that'll happen every single day. I'm telling you, when you go in, and we'll talk about the Phoenix Journal. I talk about it all the time. If you've been around, or some of you guys, yeah, some of you guys in the group, so I do. But it's just every day go in there, and I'm just reading what I've got, and then I've got everything that in print. I've got it on my iPhone, and I listen to it every night before I go to bed. But you just have to keep it going because it's going to re-energize you every single night and every single day, and keep that passion for living rolling. All right. Well, up next, SMART goals. You've probably heard this before: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. You might have heard some other little words for those acronyms, but Those are the ones that I typically go with because I think they do need to be specific. They need to be a way you can measure. They need to be achievable. You just don't want a bunch of dreams out there that you can never reach, and realistic and timely. So let's go ahead and hop into this because that is a big part of who we are here. So how to set smart goals. All right. Well, one of the best ways to guarantee goal setting success is to ensure that each of your goals or New Year's resolutions, if people have those, fits the SMART formula. So, yeah, and again, you may see different words for the A, such as actionable or attainable or assignable, or something, or relevant for the R. So, we're going to, you can use whatever words you want, but again, we're using the acronym of specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely for our program. And when your goals have these characteristics, you're much more likely to achieve them. And that's why people really like this formula, because you can break it down into these different sections and you can say, okay, well, this is a really, really good goal, one that I can really uh, attain, something that I really can see how I'm going to get there. So let's talk about goal setting success. Well, setting short term, medium term, and long term goals for yourself is the key to success in life. And we discussed this, I think it was on Tuesday. What's a short term? What's a medium term? What's a long term? Well, that is really up to you, how you do things and how you feel like you need to do things. Again, short term, I like 12-week goals because they're long enough for you to really get something done. They're long enough for you to really get involved and get excited about and get committed to, but they're short enough so that if something happens, uh, you can jive and you can jive and you can get something else like 2020, like I told people all the time. Man, none of us in January we were all going to have just awesome 2020s until this COVID thing showed up. Well, most of us still had great years because we were able to at least utilize every time there's something that's negative happens. There's a positive lining in there somewhere for you to profit from. So, but you want to set those short term and the medium term. My medium term are generally. In essence, my annuals are really kind of my medium term because I have four short terms a year, which are my 12-week years, and then I have a medium, which is my 1 year. And really, my long term, honestly, is no more than 3 to 5 years. I just I can't keep it out further than that because who knows what the hell's going to happen, 3 to 5 years from now. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to keep them where I can really see them a little bit tighter. But you do what you need to do. I mean, if you're 20 years old, your long term goal might be when you're 60. I understand that. I'm 63, so I'm not going to look out to 120 and say this is what I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to be doing something, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I think Elon's probably going to have a chip in my forehead, so I'll be all right. But if there's if there are things that you want to achieve or ways that you want to grow, setting goals as stepping stones is an important part of getting there. And that's the key word there is stepping stones. You look at how am I going to get from here to there? My God, I don't want to jump there. I don't know how deep that water is. I don't know. Well, so set yourself some stepping stones out. You can see these things. Is it still going to be scary? Yeah, if you got a stepping stones or something and they're over a 800-foot ravine, that's a little bit scary. That's okay. It's okay for your goals to be a little bit scary. If things are a little bit scary, they're not worth going after. But got to get those stepping stones out there. Something that you feel like once you're on it, at least you're secure and you feel like you can hop over to the next step. So let's consider these goals as stepping stones to destiny here. So follow this strategy and let's set some SMART goals. One is they're specific. This means that your goal should be numbers based or have a specific goal in mind. So target a specific area for improvement here. A SMART goal may be to go from 165 to 155. Well, that's been a while for me, but maybe it's just to touch my toes without bending my knees. So, what is your goal? And we laugh about these things, but I'm telling you what, I mean, when uh, there's a program out there that I when I really got out of hand and was really having some pushback problems from the table, and maybe you know consuming a little bit more alcoholic type stuff than I should have, and just not being the person I need to be. Sometimes, touching my toes without bending my knees was a pretty dadgum good goal. And or doing push-ups, sometimes you just get down and just, I mean, if you just get it up off your belly, that's a good thing. So, and now, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, now I go in every morning and my goal is 100 push-ups, but I usually get about 60 regular knocked out at this point, and then I go back and do two more sets of 25, on my knees, sissy top. But my goal is back to get to 100 again. So that's a goal for me every single morning. But both are specific goals without any vague phrasing left open to interpretation. So just keep it in there. And I don't know why that question mark is there on the slide. Let's go back and take that out. But both of these are specific. I mean, they've got it in there. You got exactly how much you want to weigh. Touch your toes without bending my knees, blah, 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 blah. And we'll get into some other benefits, but the other benefits, if you're talking about weight loss and things, primarily, a lot of times scale is in the way because it's how your, how your clothes fit, how you feel in general. So, or body fat percentage is probably a better way to do it, but a lot of folks don't have a way to measure that. Just look at the point is just make your goals specific and usually numbers based, are a pretty good way to go with it, or at least something outlined specifically. And the more specific your goals are, of course, the clearer it's going to be when you finally achieve them, because you're going to know you got there. If it's so vague and you're sitting here and say, "Oh well, 12 weeks from now I'm gonna be alive." Well, okay, well, hopefully you'll achieve that one. But why don't we get some more specific things in there just to make sure we really did achieve something other than just breathing in 12 weeks. So break down your large goals into smaller, short-term and medium-term goals, with each smaller goal phrased just as specifically, in order for them to be attainable and achievable. So you don't want to have, you don't want to lack specifics as you bring these things down. So if you got, again, a big goal, you want to bring that down and get it closer to you, to smaller short-term and medium goals. But you want them all to be phrased just as specifically as the larger goal. Now, goals, you want to be measurable. Another reason why SMART goals are numbers based, because you can measure those things. Now, it might be number of sales calls. A lot of people break this down into key actions. I certainly do on a daily basis in the 12-week a year, and in the journal, we basically grade it based on key actions, a percentage of key actions that we actually did for the week toward our goal. So that's a excellent way. Another reason why I like the Phoenix Journal and like 12-week year, it gives you a basis to do that. So it's, well, I don't know how to put a number on, the fact that I went out and did whatever it is that doesn't have like a number of things to it. Well, it's a percent. Then you just make it a percentage. How much did you do that action? Then that action turns into a number, so it's a percentage then. So you put your key actions out every day that you need to do for the week, and then at the end of the week you can add up and say, okay, what's my key action percentage? And that'll give you an idea, and that'll help you measure that. Now, to know whether or not you're achieved a goal, you must be able to measure that progress, right? So SMART goals are goals that you can track and measure and have clear endpoint of attainment in mind. So, are you ever going to get 100% of your key productive indicators or your key actions done every week? Well, some things you might, but the other thing we got to look at here is also habit trackers. Habit trackers are an excellent way to help attain goals, because you say, well, in addition to my goal, how am I going to attain that goal? What habits am I going to have to change every week to get that done? Well, if I got to work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you can put that on your habit tracker, and you just check those things off as you go. And at the end of the week, you can say, "Doggone, I didn't do what I needed to do." Well, you go back and look at your habit tracker and see where you messed up. So that's another way to work measurable. But being able to measure your progress is really important in goal setting and goal achievement. It helps you determine whether or not you're moving in the right direction, since you can clearly track and measure both positive and negative progress along the way. And that's the key there, is the negative, positive, and negative. So you can see the fact based on your percentages or based on the fact of your habit tracker that see what you did and didn't do, and you know what you need to do next week. So that's why you reflect on everything that you did, and then you plan, and then you execute for the next week. So it's got to be measurable. And again, we're talking about a system here. Success is really a system. It's a strategy. It's not just something out there that was going to say, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do." No, you got to have an action plan. Okay, smart goals they're achievable. Again, smart goals are ones that you can actually attain. Now, I'm not. I want to caution you here. I don't mean that you want to set goals that are easy to attain. You want stretch goals. You want them out there. You want to have to work for them. And my goals are stretch every single 12-week period because if I'm shooting this quarter for $150,000 in revenue and I only get 100, well, I'm not going to be too upset, but I darn sure if I set it for 100 and I only get 50, that'll probably upset me a little bit, because I didn't even get close. So set it out there where you want it, and go for it. But they're not extremely far-fetched goals like lose 100 pounds in 90 days. I mean, that's one that's just unhealthy. I mean, that's just crazy. So you can't do that. There's just no way to achieve that goal. So why even set it? So, and another way, like I just say, well, I'm gonna drop 5 pounds a month. Well, now you're talking. You can drop a pound and a half a week. I mean, you'll probably drop 5 pounds when you quit when you dehydrate a little bit and get that water weight off of you. But it'll come back when you start hydrating the way you should. But you can lose 5 pounds a month. But 100 pounds in 90 days, no, that ain't gonna happen. You're gonna be dead probably. So you might have lost it, but you'll be in a hospital. But smart goals, like I said, they're physically and mentally, these are things that you're physically and mentally capable of achieving. So again, am I capable of achieving $150,000 in income in 90 days? Yep, I am. I've done it. So well, yeah, I know it's something I can achieve. It's just how the circumstances going to be right. Am I going to work hard enough? Am I going to put 10x in to make this thing happen? It's not going to happen me sitting around doing nothing. So on the golf course, it ain't going to happen. Not me anyway. If I was uh, one of these guys out there on tour now, I might be able to, right? But actionable is something you can act on. You have control over it. And assignable is like a team setting. So if it's actionable, what we're talking about here, then it's something that you can act on, and you have absolute control over. But if it's assignable, sometimes people talk about A as being assignable, then that you might use that in a team setting. So SMART goals are assignable, but achievable or attainable doesn't mean easy. It never means easy. They got to be stretch goals. And I actually like challenging here, although it messes up the acronym. So you can use uh, the smart goals SMC, that wouldn't work. But I do like the word challenging here because I think that your goals need to be challenging. Four, realistic. The R is for realistic. Some prefer relevant here as well, meaning pertinent to your chosen field or or your benefit. That's something that's going to benefit you directly. But realistic, you want goals that are not only attainable, but they need to be realistically attainable. So that's the difference between attainable and realistically. Okay. They're a combination between specific achievement that you can reach and a time frame that's realistically coordinates with that achievement. So we're adding in time frame, which is again going to be in the T as well. So, but you want to make sure that your goals are realistic here. And again, some prefer relevant here. Just whatever your acronym is, but you want to be sure that you've got things that are really going to get you to where you really want to be and that support your mission statement and your core values. And for that reason, a smart goal would be, lose 10 pounds in 90 days. That can happen. You're looking at 3 and 3 1/4 pound, 3 1/3 pound a month. You can do that. So for healthy weight loss, 3 or 4 pounds a month rather than lose 10 pounds this week. That's the way to go. Now, and Jack Canfield in the Success Principles, when we do that, if you do that deep dive with me, um, prefers to put an exact time on it as well, and so I do that as well. I'll put by 12:01. On right now, my goals end on May 22nd. 2021. So all of my 12-week goals at this point are going to happen by 12:01 on Saturday, May 22nd, 2021. So it really just puts that time frame on there. So your brain says, oh my God, yeah, we got a specific time. We got to get this thing done. Now, also placing a non-limiting verbiage on it, such as or something better, is a great idea. I have that in my journal all the time. I'm going to achieve this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to cut down this, blah, 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 or something better. And what that or something better is opens up the universe to you. So you're not limiting your goals. You're not limiting what you can do. If you want to be down to 160 pounds, or but I really 155 would be better than just say or something better. Don't limit yourself. If you want to make $100,000, but you wouldn't mind taking 150, then 100,000 or something better. So don't limit yourself, because your brain, your subconscious say, hey, conscious, what the heck are we still working at 10x here for? Why are we working so hard? We made 100, and that's what we said we wanted to make. So we're good to go. Well, no, conscious need to say, no, we put in there or something better. So, hush up, Frankenstein. Let's just stay with the program here, and let's keep this thing going. So, or something better, I think, is a great thing to put on all of your goals. All right, now the T is timely. They have to have time frames, and realistic ones at that. So when you put a realistic time frame on your goal, it gives you something to work for, obviously. To simply lose 10 pounds without a time frame, that just lacks motivation. I mean, okay, well, by when? I mean, I don't know, 30 days after you're dead, you'll probably lose 10 pounds, but that's not what you meant, right? So lose 10 pounds by my birthday has a realistic time frame. It gives you something to work for and a date for completion. But again, 12:01 or whatever your birthday is, put it out there. But assuming your birthday is tomorrow, this might be a pretty good goal. So, but it's got to be timely. You got to have it out there. And again, like we talked about, I would make it very, very specific. Like mine is May 22nd, 2021 at 12:01 a.m. So I would consider that. But here's the bottom line. Setting SMART goals is the best way to guarantee success at setting and achieving goals for what you want in life. Now, if you don't want these things, then don't set them out there. I mean, and that's the definition of worry right there. Worry is setting goals on things that you don't want to happen. So you're sitting here, and if you're just dreaming and dreaming, thinking about worrying, all those negative things in your life, then you're actually setting a goal, but they're all negative goals or things that you don't want in your life. So let's set some SMART goals about things that you do want in life. And by setting them at specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, you can and will achieve the success you deserve. And again, I strongly recommend a good journal, a good planner like the Phoenix Planner. And you can go up on a2bforme.com and look in the store, and you can see one there. But I highly recommend something like that to help you get these things in place. And if you come on with us and do some things with us, we have a clear vision journaling course that we go through with you to make sure we can help you do that and really try and get you on the 12-week year, because I think that's just the best way to get you rolling. But anyway, we've got the PDFs for these, like I said earlier in the week. I'm going to put those in the Facebook group for you. Got them for both of these things. And you can reach out and get those worksheets. And then, of course, if you're in the A2B for Me Community Network, we got lots of tips and resources in the resource library. So if you're a member of the network, then you go out there and you can just grab those things under the resource tab. But anyway, stay on track is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Now, at A2B for Me, I talked about this maybe a little bit yesterday. We have a couple of really good programs for staying on track, and this is the continuity part of the program, and really kind of the entry level stay on track is Deep Dive to Destiny. It's our foundational series. And we'll kind of review that a little bit more tomorrow, what it goes into, but it really highlights our 3 core texts to get you rolling. It's a 60-day program that you can get involved in, and it'll really, really get you going. And we've got some good offerings there for you. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But our premier product is 84 days, and this is if you take 84 days and divide that by 7, you're probably gonna come up with 12. That's what I do most of the time, and, that's a 12-week program, and it really just it gets yourself set, so that, it's just so repeatable and so easy, but I highly recommend 84 days, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, and we've actually come up with a new one, 84 Days Premier, which is what this one is, and we've come up with 84 Days Light, which is kind of an intermediate plan between Deep Dive to Destiny and 84 Days Premier. But we want to try and make things, when folks give us suggestions, we try and put those things together for them. So we've done that. But at any rate, that's it for today. Tomorrow is Stay on Track Day. So we're going to be wrapping up the 5 days of you by uncovering the 9 tips to achieve anything you desire. So you don't want to miss those 9 tips tomorrow. And we're also going to give you a link to get your 27-page ebook. We talked about that earlier. Happy New You. It's absolutely free. So we just want to further assist you on your success journey. But if you don't want to miss out tomorrow on this, so be sure to join us back for tomorrow for day 5 as we wrap up the 5 days of you. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Let's get to work on your mission statements and start thinking about these SMART goals. And we will talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye bye.